I'm usually extremely transparent in my videos, but I'm about to be extra transparent as I'm about to expose my mother, okay? And I'm not doing this for no boo-hoo reasons. I'm doing this because you don't often hear stories about parents who seem like they raised you right, who seem to have loved you. You know, my parents said, I love you to me, and I'm proud of you, and have showed up to my performances and, you know, to my games, and they gave me hugs and all that, you know. But as psychic as I am, as in tuned and aligned as I am, and have practiced to be for so long, going on 19 years now, um, I have evidence on the 5D of her betrayal, of not the things that she has recently done, but things that she has done since I was a baby, since I was born. But I don't yet have evidence on the 3D. You know, you got a lot of parents out there that beat the shit out of their kids and smile in everybody else's face in public, you know, put on a whole persona and shit. Got parents out there that are really narcissistic. And I didn't see any of that in my mother. Me and my mother, we was best friends. We laughed together, you know, we cracked jokes with each other. We, you know, we're like two lionesses, you know, just sometimes we would, you know, physically have at it, you know, just for fun. You know what I mean? Even for the days where I was suspended from school, yeah, she gave me punishment. Yeah, she even whooped my ass with things that you should not beat your fucking kids with. But, you know, she still said I love you at the end of the day. And I always thought my mother was a great parent. Even my friends back in the day, they all loved my mother. All of them. They loved how sweet she is, you know, 'cause she's still alive, of course. But, you know, they loved how sweet she was. And, you know, she called everybody sweetie or sweetheart. You know, everybody loved her. She's beautiful. She's physically attractive, you know, petite, hardworking, intuitive, all of that. And I always saw her as lesser of the two evils compared to my father, because even though I loved my father very much, he was very heavily into drugs and alcohol, but now I know why. And it's not just because of his whole fucked up side of the family, which, you know, I've spoke about before, but because of my mother. And like I said, I got evidence on the 5D of who she truly is and what she's done, but evidence on the 3D I don't yet have, but I know it's out there. And I know she's gonna watch this because she's been watching every fucking thing that I've been doing. She's been part of the whole gang stalking shit. You know, she's been linked up with an organization that I used to work with, and it's the same people that housed me. And it's the reason why I had to leave them, because they were part of the gang stalking program. My mother has sent handlers my way and, you know, had tried to keep me in this masculine state. I was never supposed to be transgender. I was never supposed to look like this. You know, I am a beautiful, genuine goddess in the 5D, and that's who I'm growing to be. This is not staying, okay? And I know I've had people talk about, oh, you know, just be who you are or whatever. Yeah, but who I truly am is not this. My mother has been envious of me from day one. My mother has looked at me like I'm more beautiful than she is. Looked at me like I got so much more in store than she does. You know, when I was born, if she's my mother, I'm really not even sure about that. I'm not 100% sure if she's truly my real mother, 'cause she's given me hints towards that. But as soon as I came into her life, she felt like her life was over. And so she had love for me, but she had more hate for me than love, because she didn't know how to love herself. She didn't never know how to heal herself from all the trauma she's been through. But I can tell you this. She knew I was getting raped and molested. She knew I was going through incest. She knew this shit. She knew I was going through humiliation rituals that my father's side of the family was putting me through. She had poisoned my food growing up. All right. And I've tried so hard for so long. You know, it's not just because I'm a Capricorn, you know, that I'll separate myself from people. I separate myself from people because I gotta cut cords. When I'm continuously ending up homeless and things in my life have not gone right, and I'm a fucking genius for real, a creative genius. I can come up with ideas like that. I work hard. I've never had a job where a boss did not tell me I go above and beyond, and that's just how I naturally work. It wasn't to kiss ass. And I'm saying to myself, I know I can do this for myself, but why am I not able to put things into fruition? So I'm cutting cords of people, places, and things. And you know, me and my mother, we haven't spoken like 4 years now, going on 4 years. And it's because of her. I've been holding on to her guilt, her shame, her fears, her illusions, her grief, her lies, her attachments. I've been holding on to all of her shit. And the times where I've realized it, you know, I would realize it, but then, you know, either a handler would come through or trauma would come up and I would get swooped with waves of distraction that would have me sweep that idea under the rug. I've had several dreams of her getting with other people, installing cameras in my shit. I recently had a dream about the next handler she's trying to send my way and love bomb me, which is my old apartment manager. Okay? And the handler is wearing a lab coat. I'm in a lab. My mother's next to her, you know, like conjuring and shit. You know, I've had dreams of my mother trying to have me eat in my dreams, and before she give me the food would turn completely black and then it would look normal afterwards. I've had dreams of my mother betraying me left and right with a bunch of shit, and my dreams are prophetic as fuck. I knew 9/11 was going to happen before it happened. I knew Hurricane Sandy was going to happen before it happened. And I'm not delusional, I'm not crazy, I'm not fucking schizophrenic, none of that. And here I am, the day before my birthday, homeless again for the 4th fucking time. No matter how much I've tried to work on my nervous system, and I'm still practicing that, no matter how much I have taken full accountability for my shit and have really tried my best to let the past be the past and continue moving forward, my mother has relentlessly been trying to haunt me everywhere I go because she is so disgustingly jealous and envious of me and has more hate for me than she has love. And she was the one that stopped talking to me. Usually I drop people, you know, but she stopped talking to me because she knew that shit was catching up to her. She was feeling guilty. She was feeling shameful. She was feeling all that shit. She, you know, I started asking her questions, and it's the reason why she immediately stopped talking to me, which is stupid on her part because she left me all this fucking room to figure out fully what the fuck she's been doing this whole time. My mother has poisoned my food growing up. One of the biggest reasons why I had stomach issues, and one of the is I'm gonna tell you this specifically. When I eat junk food, it's one of the behaviors, the MK Ultra behaviors, where when I eat junk food and I smoke cigarettes and I don't take care of myself, brings me back to that place of everything's fine. Nah, it's not really happening to me, you know? And all that they have done to try to kill me And I'm talking about my family now, including her. All that they've done to try to kill me, kill my reputation, have everybody turn their back on me, all this shit. I still thrive. I still bust through that shit. But she has been the last piece of the puzzle. And I'd like for you guys to join me on my journey of just getting healthier. Because as soon, like when I go into the fucking section with the produce, with the fresh fruit, the fresh vegetables and shit, and my stomach be screaming as if it doesn't want me to do that. That's her. That's her not wanting me to take my power back, because as soon as I take my power back, that's when she falls. Stealing my inheritance and shit. My father left me mad money when he passed away. And he died out of guilt. No matter his diagnosis, he died because of guilt. And the more I eat healthier, the more I stay away from the cigarettes, the more I continue to do yoga and, work on my nervous system, the more that my mother suffers. And that part of me that's been so conflicted for a long time is like, damn, if I take my power back and something happens to my mother, it's my fault. That's the last piece of the puzzle. And I'm putting this out there for me to set myself free, to help set myself free and get support, because my family did not want me to have support. My family did not want me to be loved by people. My family did not want me to be around my soul family to help me to be intuitive in what's going on. They wanted me to be isolated. They wanted me to give up on myself. They want me to have cancer. They want me to have, issue with my lungs and issues with my body and my organs. They want me to have no friends. They want me to be homeless, and I'm homeless again. You know what I mean? And it's all because of my mother, who truly allowed this to happen. My father's side of the family ain't shit. Trying to destiny swap me and all this other bullshit. They've been following me wherever I go. They didn't never have to ask me, oh, what's your social security number and all that. They don't have to ask, because they fucking work for the government and they work for the military. They can get access to my information at any time. And no matter where the fuck I go in America, they are always on my fucking ass. Everywhere I go, I see Virginia license plates. Go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out of here. That's my father's side of the family, though. I'm from Jersey. My immediate family from Jersey. And I had to leave. I'm not in Jersey no more. I had to get the fuck up out of there. So I'm homeless in a different state. It's the day before my birthday. This is not how I wanted to spend my birthday at all. And it sucks, but all I have to do is get healthier and really stay that fucking course and let go of the guilt that I may be feeling, because as I take my power back, she might end up sick. And I'm not wishing no ill will on her, but it makes so much sense as to why when I do get support, I don't know how to accept it. Or when I do get friends, I don't back in the day, I had friends for like 10, 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? Like I had really great friendships, but anytime anybody ever said I loved you to me, or, try to give me a hug and stuff like that, I just wouldn't believe it. And that's because of my mother. How you gonna tell me that you love me, but you know what my grandfather is doing to me, what my uncle's doing to me, what the family friends are doing to me? How you gonna, give me hugs and kisses and tell you I'm proud of you and and I appreciate you and I love you, but that my father's side of the family has been putting me under MK Ultra all this time. And I've been through, that's a completely different video. I'm not even gonna go into that. That's some next level shit what they did to me. I mean, they really did some fucking medical torture to me. Bad. And I'm, like I said, that's gonna be for another video. But I'm also putting this out there because I need some support. I need some love. I think this is my first time truly ever asking for support in a way that I really, really fucking need it. And yeah, I feel scared. I feel scared. But I also feel ready. Because I am ready to be the beautiful goddess that I'm supposed to be, that I've always been able to see myself to be in the 5D. I need some love and support. I don't need nobody in the comments talking about some go with Jesus. Like, I don't want to hear none of that I don't want to hear no religious bullshit, because my family has put me through some religious abuse. Oh, praise Jesus this, praise Jesus that, but they're the main ones that's been perpetrating all this time. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear nobody from the LGBTQ community talking about just be who you are. No, excuse me. I know how to match my feelings with facts. Okay? I do the work. I don't just let my broken emotions lead the way, anymore. I've learned from that. I've always had a great sense of logic that would try to be balanced with my emotions so that things make more, things made more sense. I'd be able to take more accountability. I take my power when I do that. I don't just let my emotions be what they are and then have no fucking boundaries. You know what I mean? Every ocean has an earth that can contain it. So I'm not beat for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the kind of support that I'm looking for are, especially black women. Black women in my family have not been reliable. I'm looking for black women, especially, who are spiritual, and not in a cult way, but spiritual in a way where it's just practicing honesty, practicing authenticity, practicing self-love, practicing yoga, practice Reiki, more on the holistic side, and, people in general, whoever you are, whatever you look like, who just want to just live life every day the most authentic as possible. That's what I'm looking for. That's the kind of support that I really need. And it would really help if you guys go on my Patreon and just follow me. Follow, my journey, what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And I really hope that me putting my story out there will help people like myself who are very psychic but have been pinned as schizophrenic and delusional and all this other shit, who have had parents that were nice to their face as well as the public, but intuitively that there's a darker side. And the more I continue to grow, I'm sharing my journey with you guys, being completely vulnerable, completely honest and raw. And may we let go of the people who no longer serve us, even when they did give us money, even when they did give us kisses before we went to bed, even when we did pray before we ate together, for the times that we did. Be honest about the traumas that you went through. Be honest about, your situation and the people that are still around you, because it be the ones closest to you. I know we hear it all the time, but it's the real fucking truth. And I'm putting this out there because I'm choosing to set my fucking self free. And I know my mother's going to be watching this. You know what? It's time you get exposed like the rest of them. You did me fucking dirty, and I'm not letting you get away with it. Peace, y'all.